북유럽 국가들은 국제적인 조사에서 항상 행복지수 1위, 민주주의 지수 1위를 차지합니다. 특히 핀란드에서는 선거철이면 곳곳에 어마어마한 양의 벽보가 붙어 있는 것을 볼 수 있는데요. 권역별 비례대표제와 다당제를 실시하기 때문입니다. 핀란드를 비롯한 북유럽 정치 문화의 중요한 특징은 합의 민주주의입니다. 합의가 정치의 기본 방식이 될 수 있었던 배경은 무엇일까요?
네, 핀란드, 스웨덴, 덴마크를 비롯한 북유럽 민주주의 국가들은 강한 그 정당 중심의 대의민주주의 시스템을 발전시켜 오고 있습니다. 19세기, 20세기를 거치면서 근대 산업사회가 발전을 하게 되고 또 보편적인 선거권에 기반한 대중민주주의가 발전을 하게 되죠. 그런데 이 과정에서 이들 국가들은 선거제도로 정당별 득표율에 따라서 국회 의석수를 배분하는 비례대표제를 실시를 해오고 있습니다. 훨씬 다양한 정당들의 후보들이 한 선거구에서 뽑히게 되고요. 또 국회에서도 다당제에 기반한 의회 시스템이 발전을 하게 됩니다. 그리고 이와 같은 조건에서는 한 정당이 절대 과반수를 획득하기가 굉장히 어렵기 때문에 대부분 여러 정당들이 연합을 해서 정부를 구성을 하게 됩니다. 그리고 의회가 총리를 선출을 하게 되는 것이죠. 그래서 여러 정당들이 연합해서 한 정부를 운영하는 과정에 서로 자신들의 정책 프로그램들을 협상하고 타협하고 조율해서 공통의 정부 프로그램들을 만들어내게 됐죠. 그리고 이 과정에서 합의민주주의적인 요소들이 발전을 하게 됩니다. 합의정치 또는 합의민주주의라고 저희가 표현을 하게 됩니다. 그래서 북유럽의 기본적인 민주주의와 정치제도의 특징은 이런 전면적인 권역별 비례대표 선거제도와 다당제적인 정당 체계에 기반한 합의적 민주주의 또는 합의정치 시스템을 운영해 오고 있다. 이렇게 말씀드리겠습니다.
Really important aspect in the historical development of the party system in the Nordic countries is the strong position of voluntary movements and the fact that there have been different interests in society which have kind of sought representation in the parliament as well. And the labor movement is probably the prime example of this. So there has been kind of a general interest within the society to get a proportional representations of different aspects and not merely a majoritarian political system.
What is very good in Finland, in the Finnish democracy, I think, is that we have very many small associations around different issues in this society. So people have their ways to join associations where they can further issues. But these associations, they just quite often tend to be, I would say, maybe not that political as they could be. They might be more about leisure time activities or sports or things like that. Of course, there are also associations that are politically active and trying to have an effect in the institutional politics. But at least I think it's good to have many associations.
The proportional system, that is probably what you are after as well, that the proportional system creates the party system, the Duverger's law. Yeah. Strength is that it is proportional. You get all kinds of representation. Ours, without the electoral thresholds that they have, for example, in Sweden, is very proportional. We have lots of parties.
That traditionally there have been 5 parties in the Nordic region. In all 4 major Nordic countries, Iceland is a bit different. There has been a large social democratic party, and then there has been a socialist party to the left of the social democrats. And then there has been an agrarian party representing the rural communities. And then we've had a liberal party and a conservative party. This has been the traditional 5 parties since the emergence of democracy in the Nordic countries 100 years ago or so. And this has been basically the same in all Nordic countries, with a bit different strengths in the different countries. So the Social Democrats have traditionally been dominant in all Nordic countries, but they've been particularly dominant in Sweden and Norway. And then among the three parties to the right, I'd say that Finland has an exceptionally strong center party, exceptionally strong agrarian interest, and Denmark also.
So it's a very traditional European party system, which for the very long time was also very stable. As they call the European party systems, they froze. They kind of like stayed way beyond how the class cleavages themselves change. So the party system was way more solid than the class cleavages. But eventually they started to melt as well, the party system.
For example, the Greens, which is a kind of environmental party, is very strong in Finland and also in Sweden to a certain extent. And then we've all seen since the 70s a rise of different form of nationally conservative populist parties. So the traditional five-party system has kind of developed into a seven-party system, although in different ways in the different Nordic countries, so that the populists have gained popularity on behalf of different parties in the different countries, you could say.
We are now in this party office of the Finnish Social Democratic Party. The party is almost 120 years old. So in next year we are going to have the anniversary in next August. So there are plenty of traditions in the party. We are having approximately, I think, 30,000 members in the party. And we are represented in the parliament. There are 200 seats in the parliament, and now we have a group there which is consisting 35 members of the parliament. So day after tomorrow having a new elections in Finland, and I hope that we're able to reach a position as the biggest party in Finland, which could bring us maybe from 44 to 49 seats, hopefully. But it's of course very much unclear because most of the people have not decided whom they are going to vote, and my estimate is only based on these Gallup polls which has been done among the audience during this last week's time. But the situation is very exciting.
So the party is 113 years old, and we're one of the oldest and parties who have been working most strongly. We have now about 100,000 members, and the background for us is that we are from the rural areas, so the regions are for us strong. So the agricultural questions and how the people are living everywhere in Finland. So that's the background of our party basically. But other way, of course, 4 years ago, Finland wasn't doing so well. So we have been, as a Prime Minister party, we have been doing our best, and of course, some of the people are feeling that the solutions that we have made, they have been quite hard and difficult, and so in that way that we are facing some difficulties to gain the support from the voters again in these elections.
지난 4월 14일 실시된 총선에서 중앙당은 결국 18석을 잃고 4위로 밀려나는 참패를 겪었습니다. 반면 3인당은 기대엔 못 미쳤지만 총 40석을 차지해 20년 만에 제1당에 올랐는데요. 총선이 끝나면 새로운 정부 구성이 시작됩니다.
We are going to introduce a list of questions, maybe not so many questions, maybe 5 to 10 maximum, and ask the other parties that how do you see. Example, the question theoretically could be that how do you see what Finland should do to take or which methods should we use to take this climate change in control? And then the parties should introduce their ideas, and then the person and the party who is trying to build up a government, they look all the answers and look that, well, these are similar with these parties, we are maybe able to govern together because we see which should be or what should be done in next governmental period.
Normally in Finland we have that party that is the biggest party. The chairman of that party will be the negotiator for trying to get the right ground for the government. And of course it depends about how many persons we will get in the parliament and how many parliamentary person we will have in the next years. So that's the main thing about it. But even more than how big support we will get, it's more about that what are the topics in the governmental program. The smaller parties, they have important role, and of course they are more maybe focused on only one topic, but of course they are important part and important role for the governments to form the governments in the future, and they have been. So our relations have been good always with all the small parties. Of course, their thoughts and ideas might be a little bit different, but the government, it's the way to find the solution that we are facing, making the Finland better again. But how it's the question. So far we have found the solution always. Yeah.
Let's say that the Finnish election system, the good thing about the Finnish election system is that it's very easy to understand, because you only vote, you only select a candidate from the party list and write down the number of the candidate. So it's very easy for people to understand how it works and how the votes are counted, and that's the good thing about the election system. The bad thing, I would say, that the cons about the system is that people do not necessarily understand when they vote for a candidate that the vote also goes to the political party. So sometimes you hear that people say that I like this particular candidate, but I don't like the party. But if the candidate doesn't get elected, the vote goes directly to the party, and some other person from the party list will be elected based on that vote. And this is something that sometimes is unclear for people, the role of or the difference between parties and candidates.
Turnout, election participation is rather high in European terms, but low in Nordic terms, and of course that is something we need to consider. Some have suggested that the fact that you need to vote for an individual candidate in the Finnish elections, so that can makes the choice harder for a voter than if you would vote only for a party, as you do in Sweden, for example.
Is the fact that we vote on individuals and parties at the same time. So it's a real hassle to find an individual candidate that you want to vote on, and it's easier in Denmark, Norway, and Sweden when you only have to pick a party that you sympathize with. That is probably the main reason.
In some sort of way you get stability. It's because everyone has to cooperate with other one to build up a coalition government. Then you have this kind of like a consensual culture of cooperation all the time going on. In a way, when you have many parties involved, that sort of decision making can become easier, but in Finland at least it has been quite hard to make any kind, because you have to, there are particular interests of the parties which you have to, all the time you have to please them. So one solution that has been proposed is the block system, similar that is in Sweden. Two of them always made a coalition government. Since '87, even the Social Democrats and the Conservatives, who used to be the main rivals, before the election, they have traditionally formed blocks. You have the left wing and the right wing bloc, to put it like very simply. So they team up before the election. They basically propose a program which will happen if we win, and they will stay together as a team. The Finnish coalitional system is completely different. Here no one says anything before the election, and after the election pretty much anyone can team up with anyone.
A multi-party system, it's easier for people to get engaged, and it's easier to find a representative or a party that represents your own political views.
In my opinion, it doesn't really matter what the system is. So a functioning democracy can be built in many different ways, but it is really important to look at the indicators, whether people are participating, whether their voice is really heard, whether it is equal.
I think the main problem is not even the parties, how many of they are. I mean, if you look from the dictionary, democracy refers usually to pluralistic democracy, which means that there are many kinds of opinions over a matter. But at some point of history, it started, at least it appears that it started to mean something else than the pluralist idea of democracy or society, that you have many kinds of opinions. Now that we have many kinds of opinions, people are horrified, or at least some of the people are horrified. I'm not sure it's a bad thing. I think it could be also interpreted as vitality of democracy, that democracy really works because it allows all kinds of opinions to come forward if there are those kinds of opinions.
일반적으로 정치학자들은 다당제 정당 체계가 너무 이렇게 폭넓게 존재하는 경우에 중도적인 합의를 창출해내기가 어렵고 선거에서도 정부에 대한 책임성을 묻는 것이 쉽지 않다라는 문제점을 또는 우려를 지적해 왔습니다. 핀란드의 경우도 20세기 초반에는 굉장히 파편화된 어떤 정당 체계 때문에 극단적인 갈등과 대립이 벌어진 적도 있는데요. 그러나 20세기 중반 후반을 거치면서 특히 중도 우파, 중도 좌파인 중앙당과 삼인당을 중심으로 연합과 합의 정치가 발전을 하게 되면서 그와 같은 우려들을 불식시켜 왔다, 이렇게 말씀을 드리겠습니다. 그래서 제가 핀란드에서 유학 생활을 하면서 여러 해 살아보고 또 정치학 연구를 하면서 느낀 점이 많았는데요. 특히 이 비례대표제의 원리는 매우 인상이 깊었습니다. 저는 비례대표제가 비단 선거제도와 국회의원 의석수를 배분하는 하나의 전문적 기제일 뿐만 아니라 나아가서 핀란드를 비롯한 북유럽 사회 전반에 사회 구성 및 운영의 원리가 아닌가, 이렇게 생각을 했습니다. 그래서 사회에 존재하는 다양한 집단, 그룹, 또 개인들의 이해관계나 관점, 정체성 등등이 정치적인 영역에서 또는 의사결정 과정에서 충분히 비례적으로 반영되어야 된다는 그 원리가 포함되어 있다, 이렇게 생각이 됩니다.
승자 독식이나 이념 대립보다는 서로 화합하는 문화와 작은 것도 놓치지 않고 다양한 가치를 비례적으로 온전히 반영하려는 정치제도. 바로 북유럽 선진 민주주의의 비결이 아닐까요?